How's it going, everybody? The PlayStation Gamescom sale is running from now until September 9th, and there's a ton of absolute bangers on sale for up to 90% off. Every day I put together lists of the top games you can get at a deep discount, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. If any physical editions exist, you can find them down in the description, but with that out of the way, that's enough yapping from me, so let's get straight into it. For $36, 40% off, Cronos The New Dawn is a survival action game set in a grim world where Eastern European brutalism meets retro-futurist technology, where you play as a traveler using time rifts to journey between a ravaged wasteland and 1980s Poland. Extract the essences of key people from the past using your harvester, bringing them into the future as companions, while battling nightmarish abominations that demand tactical thinking and resource management. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition is a survival horror action adventure where Agent Leon S. Kennedy is sent to a remote European village to rescue the president's kidnapped daughter, uncovering a terrifying mystery at every turn. Experience modernized gameplay, a reimagined storyline, and detailed graphics as you battle infected villagers, solve puzzles, and navigate intense environments that demand strategy and careful resource management. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $17, 75% off, Dead Space is a sci-fi survival horror experience, following engineer Isaac Clarke sent to repair the massive USG Ishimura only to find the crew dead and his partner Nicole missing. Fight through twisted necromorphs using improvised engineering weapons, explore claustrophobic corridors in zero-gravity areas, soak in rich environmental storytelling, and master strategic dismemberment combat as unrelenting dread builds throughout the ship. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $12, 60% off, Dead by Daylight is an asymmetrical multiplayer horror game where 4 survivors struggle to escape a relentless killer in a dark, eldritch realm where death offers no refuge and terror lurks around every corner. Choose your role as a vicious killer hunting every move, or a survivor using stealth, strategy, and teamwork to evade gruesome death, with each character featuring deep progression systems and customizable perks. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 150 hours to platinum. For $7, 75% off, SOMA is a haunting, narrative-driven sci-fi horror game from the creators of Amnesia, set in the eerie underwater facility of Pathos 2, where machines believe they're human. With the radio dead, supplies dwindling, and reality unraveling, you'll uncover unsettling secrets while exploring dark corridors, reading encrypted logs, and piecing together the mystery of what went wrong deep beneath the ocean waves. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $10, 80% off, Resident Evil 2 Deluxe Edition delivers the ultimate survival horror experience with the main game and extra DLC pack, including multiple costumes for Leon and Claire, the deluxe Samurai Edge Albert model weapon, and the ability to swap to the original soundtrack. Set in September 1998, Raccoon City is engulfed by a deadly virus, turning residents into flesh-eating zombies as chaos spreads rapidly across the rain-soaked streets. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Resident Evil Village Gold Edition is a survival horror masterpiece where you play as Ethan Winters, navigating a terrifying village filled with twisted horrors and mysterious allies while uncovering dark secrets that threaten your family. With the main game, Winter's Expansion, Trauma Pack, VR Mode, and Village of Shadows unlock, it delivers a chilling, action-packed horror experience full of suspense and unforgettable moments. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off, Until Dawn is a cinematic, choice-driven horror experience that blends the tension of a slasher film with the interactivity of a branching narrative game, delivering a suspenseful, edge-of-your-seat adventure full of shocking twists. Trapped on a remote mountain retreat, 8 friends must survive a night of terror as mysterious forces close in and their darkest secrets surface, with fear and paranoia building at every turn. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, The Thing Remastered revives the cult classic survival horror shooter that continues the story of the iconic film, placing you in the frozen nightmare of Antarctica as Captain J.F. Blake amid escalating paranoia and dread. Lead a Special Forces squad through Outpost 31, fighting shape-shifting creatures while managing trust and fear, never knowing which teammates are still human and which may turn on you. It's a 78 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 60% off, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is a disturbing point-and-click adventure where 5 tortured survivors are imprisoned by the insane supercomputer AM and forced to confront their deepest fears. Assume each character's role across unique environments, unraveling traumatic past through psychological puzzles and morally charged decisions rooted in guilt, paranoia, and despair, all adapted from Harlan Ellison's legendary short story. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $5, 90% off, Sherlock Holmes The Awakened Deluxe Edition is a nerve-wracking Lovecraftian adventure rebuilt with modern graphics and gameplay, placing you in the shoes of Sherlock Holmes as he investigates mysterious disappearances linked to a dark cult. Explore Europe and the US and uncover the chilling secrets of the Cthulhu mythos, with the deluxe edition including the Whispered Dreams side quest pack and the Detective's Wardrobe. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $9, 70% off, Alien Isolation is a first-person survival horror game where Amanda Ripley searches a remote space station for clues about her mother, while an unstoppable xenomorph stalks her every move from the shadows. You'll creep through claustrophobic corridors as you manage scarce resources and use careful stealth to slip past hostile humans, malfunctioning androids, and the creature itself, while the station grows increasingly unstable. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $7, 90% off, The Quarry is a cinematic horror adventure where you play as 9 summer camp counselors trapped in Hackett's Quarry, facing bloodthirsty locals and a far darker supernatural threat. You'll make critical choices for each character, influence who survives, and experience high-tension sequences brought to life by incredible performances from a star-studded cast, including David Arquette, Ariel Winter, and Brenda Song. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $7, 75% off, the Evil Within bundle includes the full game plus all season pass content, the assignment, the consequence, and the executioner packs, delivering intense, chilling survival horror from Shinji Mikami and Tango Gameworks. Navigate terrifying, highly crafted environments, manage scarce resources, and face relentless threats while uncovering a tension-filled story that perfectly blends action, fear, and psychological dread. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 9 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $24, 20% off, Little Nightmares VR Altered Echoes puts you in the disturbing universe of Little Nightmares in first person, as Dark Six sets out to reunite with her other self and escape a monstrous fate. Every sight, sound, and shadow draws you into a twisted world where your fragility as a child collides with grotesque surroundings, solving puzzles and uncovering hidden paths and secrets tied to Six's story in the enigmatic transmission. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $9, 75% off, Still Wakes the Deep is a tense first-person horror game from the Chinese Room, placing you aboard a 1970s North Sea oil rig as a worker struggling to survive a vicious storm in an unimaginable horror. Explore a beautifully realized, evolving rig with no weapons, relying on wits and determination to sneak, climb, swim, and avoid a relentless, terrifying presence in storm-battered, claustrophobic, constantly shifting environments. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off, Arizona Sunshine Remake is a VR zombie shooter in the post-apocalyptic Grand Canyon, surviving undead hordes with motion-controlled shotguns, machetes, and other wielded weapons amid scarce ammo while searching for survivors. This complete edition includes all DLC, co-op campaign and horde modes for up to 4 players, a revamped gore system, high-resolution textures, and bite-sized sessions letting you play short bursts or the full story. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $12, 50% off, The Axis Unseen sends you tracking down nightmarish creatures from folklore across a mysterious open world, following footprints and blood trails while watching the wind to avoid detection. Steal enhanced senses from creatures you hunt to detect scent particles and heat trails, discover unique arrows that control fire, wind, and even time, and uncover the fate of hunters who came before you through their journals and sketches. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a VR survival horror adventure set in walker-infested New Orleans, where you fight, sneak, scavenge, and survive while unraveling a citywide mystery shaped by your choices. Explore a free-roaming city, craft makeshift weapons and tools from scrap, and use stealth or brute force to deal with both the living and the dead, with spatial audio making every sound a potential death sentence. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre lets you take on the role of a notorious Slaughter family member or one of their doomed guests in this third-person asymmetrical horror experience based on the classic 1974 film. As a victim, use your wits and stealth to stay out of the family's reach and find the tools you need for eventual freedom, and as a Slaughter family player, seek out, track down, and stop your guests from escaping. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 120 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off, Darkwood is an atmospheric survival horror that relies on dread, careful planning, and resource management rather than cheap jump scares, immersing players in a uniquely haunting experience. By day, you explore and scavenge the eerie forests of the Soviet bloc, while at night you hunker down to survive against relentless supernatural forces that stalk the woods, threatening your sanity as you navigate an ever-changing world. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $7, 65% off, Conscript is a grim pixel art survival horror set in 1916 during the Battle of Verdun, where you play a French soldier searching for his brother amid one of history's bloodiest conflicts. Navigate twisted trenches, crumbling forts, and no man's land, scavenging scarce World War I weapons and fending off enemy soldiers while solving complex puzzles and managing strict resources, with multiple endings and unlockable costumes adding replay value. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 9 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5, 50% off, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2 Retribution Payback Edition is a VR survival adventure in zombie-ravaged New Orleans, scavenging supplies, crafting weapons, and fighting the dead in physics-driven melee combat. This edition brings back all the refined features of the original Journey, plus new weapon recipes, a unique graveyard storage shelf, and a set of 10 collectible postcards to decorate your resting place. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $7, 75% off, Observer System Redux is a cyberpunk psychological horror game that casts you as neural detective Daniel Lazarski in the dystopian year 2084. Investigate a grimy Krakow apartment block using neural interrogations, Dream Eater mind dives, and redesigned stealth mechanics, while experiencing PS5 enhancements like 4K resolution and HDR lighting, and new side cases like Errant Signal or Fearful Symmetry, and It Runs in the Family. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $12, 75% off, The Medium is a third-person psychological horror game where you explore both the real world and the spirit world simultaneously, uncovering dark mysteries that only a gifted medium can solve. Use psychic abilities to manipulate objects and deliver spirit blasts, while investigating dual reality puzzles and interacting with environments across both worlds to reveal hidden paths and piece together a morally complex story. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. Alright, that's it for today's list, everybody. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sale stuff that I put out, leave a like, and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.